How do you keep a woman attracted long term forever? How do you keep a woman turned on in a relationship? You create duality of emotions in the experience of being with you. A lot of guys, the reason why their relationships die out, fizzle out, why women are like bossy, nagging, critical, and like very unpleasant to be around with is because a lot of guys focus on the wrong frame. They focus on becoming a provider, like financially providing, taking care of things, organizing, buying trips, yada yada yada. But they neglect the most important frame, which is the lover frame. Why is it so important? Well, if you think about what women need in order to be attracted to you, what they respond best to is their four primary desires: leadership, connection, safety, and adventure. Now, if you look closely and pay close attention, what do you notice? That three of the four primary desires fall into the category of the provider frame, aka the leadership frame, the leadership energy, the connection energy, the safety energy, and the desires. Only one falls into the lover category. Now, a lot of guys are great at leadership. They book trips, they pay for fancy spa trips. They're emotionally tuned, they show empathy, they're connected to their own emotions. They say, hey, babe, I understand. I feel you. Oh, let me give you a hug. Or it sounds like you're having a bad day. Let me cook you tea. You're on your period. I'm going to get you all your snacks, right? That is creating connection. Safety means that you're able to tell her, hey, I understand you're feeling upset. Hey, let me give you a hug. That is the display of empathy, which makes a woman feel safe. Safety builds trust. Connection builds trust. Leadership is organizing shit. That also builds trust because you display masculine competence, right? That makes her safe and secure. Now let's imagine this. Imagine we would erase this part. What do you notice? She only feels safe. She only feels secure. Let me ask you this. When you watch a movie, when you watch a series, what do you like in a movie or in a series? Why do you keep coming back to Suits, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones? Because they're plot twists, right? Plot twists means you divert from the norm, from the baseline. Safety and security creates a baseline. If you look at heartbeats, what happens when a heartbeat is flat? You're dead. This is exactly what happens to relationships. Because you guys focus so much on making a woman feel safe and secure, you fundamentally flatline the emotional stimulation in a relationship. Now, a lot of guys, especially in the red pill, they think, oh my gosh, I have to create drama. I have to artificially play all these games in order to keep her attracted. It's bullshit. The issue that a lot of guys have is they think that the opposite of peace and safety is drama, which is not. The opposite of safety and security is fun through tension. Tension makes you feel alive. When you feel fear, you feel alive. Yeah. When you watch a horror movie or thriller, you're at the edge of your seats. It's tension. Makes you feel alive, right? Do you feel alive when you play a boring video game, when you solve a boring task? No, you don't feel alive. You feel flat. However, if you solve a complex problem and you finally solved it, what happened? A spike of euphoria because of the initial tension that was created, and then there was a release through overcoming the hurdle, or solving the riddle. You have to create the same fucking thing in your relationship. And you have the ability, because you can be playful with your boys. Why are you not playful with your girl? Because you want to feel alive the same way a woman wants to feel alive. I know a lot of guys, once they overcome their fucking anxious attachment shit, yeah, once they stop being so afraid of losing a woman, They want a woman that makes them feel alive too. You have this through sex. You want great sex. You get great sex by making her feel more than just safe and secure. Safe and secure, again, as a reminder, is fundamentally saying, like, I've got you, babe. I've got you covered. I'll take care of this. Adventure and making women alive through creating adventure, through the lover frame, which creates a heartbeat that is not flat, is saying, I'm not sure I like you being such a bitchy princess today, seeding doubt into the relationship of her attitude, for example, being attractive, being playful, poking fun at her, like being clumsy. You can say things like, oh my gosh, she's such a troublemaker when she spills something. Fundamentally, you need to mildly, and I don't want to say annoy her because that has a negative connotation, but you need to create a bit of mystery in the relationship, not through pulling back and like playing games, but by fundamentally using your words. Women respond very well to like words. There's this saying, men love through eyes and women love through what they hear. Like men love fall in love through by what they see. Women fall in love by what they hear. Coming back to making a woman feel alive through your words, aka becoming a Picasso of words. Instead of saying, hey, good morning, babe, the standard good morning message, you could reframe that into playful tease saying, hey, good morning, troublemaker, I hope you didn't dream too much of me. That is a playfully cocky frame that makes a woman feel alive, but also she's going to be a bit annoyed because, oh my gosh, this guy is so full of himself again. Women respond very well to guys who are full of themselves in a healthy way. Tension can also be creating artificial, I don't want to say drama, or arguments, but fun arguments. For example, when she leaves the clothes, or like when she fundamentally complains about like you leaving the clothes out, instead of responding logically to it and say, oh my gosh, oh yeah, I'm sorry, or why do you always complain? You could say, oh my gosh, report it to the police. Unbelievable. Give me 15 years in prison. Disgusting. That's a British meme, by the way. See how that is acknowledging what she's doing, but like you're taking the piss, basically. Take the piss a bit more. Provider is the death. The provider frame is the foundation. But if you only focus on the provider frame, that's going to be the death of your relationship. If you inject more of the lover through playfully teasing her, assuming attraction, and so many more techniques, that if you have any questions, let me know, because there's like so many of them. But this is fundamentally the frame that you need to combine. Because again, the aliveness creates an emotional spike because of the contrast to safe and secure. You don't appreciate the sun without the rain. You don't appreciate water if you have not been in the desert and thirsty, right?